There are a few storylines that you absolutely need to know about for the college wrestling season. Whether you're a new fan to the sport and have no idea what's going on, or you're a super fan and watch every single dual meet, these are the storylines at a very high level that everybody's going to be talking about. So I have 4 storylines for you, and the first one is the biggest change from last season to this season. That's the mass exodus of seniors. Guys who've stuck around for many, many years in college wrestling, like Hayden Hidley, Michael Kemmerer, Jaden Ironman, Stefan Michich, Tariq Wilson. Those guys are all gone. Guys who maybe you heard jokes about because of the eligibility in like their 7th and 8th years. You joked that they were going to become doctors and there was outrage over it. How is this even possible? How can guys still be wrestling when they're like 25 years old? Well, we don't really have to worry about that anymore. There are a few stragglers who still have a little bit of extra eligibility, but for the most part, all of those guys are gone. The good thing, the exciting thing, is that makes leeway for a lot of new guys to come in and make names for themselves. I am personally excited to see which guys who we weren't expecting to win this year, or weren't expecting to win titles or get onto the stand, really have a go at it this season. And speaking of fans poking fun at wrestlers, one of the biggest unfortunate things that I've seen online is everybody joking about Daton Fix just getting runner-up 4 times in a row. And that is the second storyline, is that can this be Daton Fix's year? Can he finally find a way to win the title? If you're unfamiliar, Daton Fix is a 133-pounder, has wrestled in the NCAA finals on 3 separate occasions, and taken runner-up all 3 times. First, in 2019, he lost to Nick Suriano, a 4-2 decision in overtime. Then in 2021, he lost to Roman Bravo Young of Penn State in overtime yet again. And last season, he lost to RBY for the 2nd time in his career. This is the first time that maybe he can get the job done. And if he doesn't, though, the good news is he actually does have an extra year of eligibility to use after this. So if he doesn't get it done this year, maybe he does go for it next year. But I wouldn't be so sure about that, because there's only so many times that you can take like I don't want to say a beating, because it's like they're so darn tight, but it's like a beating to your emotions and to everything that you're working towards, to like you just want to give up after not winning that many times. But that is why it's such a big storyline. The next storyline, before we get to the absolutely biggest overarching storyline of this entire season, is that Penn State is looking to crown 5 national champions for the 2nd season in a row. Penn State crowned 5 champions back in 2017. They also did it last season in 2022. With 4 returning national champions, they are looking like they could get it done again. The really remaining question is, who's that 5th guy going to be, assuming all of those other guys do win? On top of that, we have to wonder, is Penn State the dominant force? Can any team find a way to upset them? Michigan and Iowa came close last year, and Arizona State, NC State, and Mizzou are all on the outside. But will Penn State reign supreme, and can they get that 5th champion? By the way, if you're enjoying these storylines so far and everything I'm doing here at Fanco, then you may be a fan of my upcoming Ultimate Guide to the College Wrestling season. I'm releasing a digital copy and hard copy this season, full of rankings, stats, what freshmen to watch, even more storylines. If that's something you're interested in and want to be just notified whenever I release it, you can go to fancoguide.com. I'll shoot you an email so you're the first to know whenever I release that. If not, that's totally fine too. You can keep enjoying the content on this channel. But for now, let's get to that last storyline. And that is that this season, there could be 2 4-time NCAA wrestling champions. That, as I alluded to earlier, is the biggest overarching storyline of this season. To put it into perspective, in the wrestling history, there are only 4 4-time NCAA wrestling champions. This season, there could be 2 in one season. The first one is Spencer Lee at 125 pounds, who has already won his 3 titles. He didn't wrestle last season due to an injury, but he's coming back off of those ACL tears and is looking to be dominant for the Iowa Hawkeyes. If he gets the job done, he'll be Iowa's first ever 4-time national champion. But the exciting part, even more for me, is Yianni Diakomihalis. He would be Cornell's second 4-time national champion to Kyle Dake. This year, you are going to want to watch for those guys to see if there's anybody who can upset them or if they could potentially bonus their way throughout the entire tournament. Now, if you haven't seen yet, I've actually done a video breaking down all the 4-timers of all time. If you want to learn more about who those guys are and what their stats are, you can watch this video here.